guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a phenomenal day here in late January. How's it already becoming the end of January? Where did the month go? Anyway, let's just hop right on in. If you guys saw my previous haul video from last year, you know, my desk is a complete mess right now. You guys will know that I got the Naked Vault. I haven't tried the other three, but I really want to try this because this is the newest one, and I wanted to give my thoughts. This is going to sound terrible. I did not have very much hope for this palette. The Urban Decay palettes shadows I have tried previously, I did not like. So I didn't have much hope for this palette at all. But it proved me wrong. Easy as that. So let's start with the basics. It is 66 Canadian dollars. Yes, 66. That means it actually went up $2. Let's actually look and see if the other ones went up, because I know for a fact the other ones used to be $64. So yes, all the palettes went up by $2. They used to be 64 and now they are 66. Ain't that lovely? That is pretty pricey for a palette. However, unfortunately in Canada that's not that bad. Usually palettes are around $50, $60. But from the qualities I've had previous shadows, I was like, I'm not going to buy that. Then the Vault came out, which is Naked Palette 1, 2, 3, and this one. So I was like, yes, I'm going to get that because essentially you got a whole palette for free in that Vault. So I was like, might as well get it and try it out. Why not? So yeah, it's $66 and this is what it looks like. So it has 12 shadows and a brush as well. I tend not to really use these brushes. Just because I'm not a big fan of double-sided brushes. That's really just my own preference. But I'm sure it's good. I haven't tried it out yet, so I can't give you a review on the brush itself, but I'm going to give you a review on the palette. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. There is quite a few mattes and a couple of foil shimmers, which is a very good palette. When I first saw that, I was like, meh, I have colors like that. We're like, why do I need this palette? I don't actually have colors like this. But now I do. Okay, so let's start with how cohesive. Let's get the brush out of there so I can hold it up upside down. So it is really cohesive. It essentially goes from light to dark over here. It does have a shadow right here, which is Ounce. That is what I set my eye primer with. I always look for this color in all my palettes because I like to set my eye primer or whatever I have on my eyes with a light shade. I can't use Chaser because that's a bit too dark for me. So I usually go for one of the lightest shades in there, which that happens to be it. It is what I'm wearing on my eyes right now, so clearly you can see this is super pigmented. It is ridiculous, but it's not like bam pigmented in your face right away. It's buildable, which is really nice, especially if you're a beginner and don't know how to use super pigmented shadows. So it's very easy to build it up and not mess up right off the start, essentially. So you can keep building it. It will blend really nicely. All of these, I've tried every single one of these. They all blend ridiculously well. Like, I don't think I actually have another palette, except maybe for Anastasia's Modern Renaissance, that blends this well. I have not had an issue at all, and my eyes have been dry. So usually shadows get stuck and I can't move them, and with all of these I was able to move everything, which is phenomenal because that's a kind of palette you want. You want to be able to blend it. You don't want it to get stuck to your dry patches. You just want to be able to blend. And it doesn't blend so that the color disappears. You can still see, essentially, it blends together, but not into a muddy mess. Obviously, some colors are going to be different. I don't think there is actually. Yeah, I don't think this palette has a color. Maybe that one might blend into a different one kind of muddily, but I haven't had that happen quite yet. Or if it's even going to happen, I haven't had it happen. It's all blended very nicely so that it's the color you want, and not a muddy mess. I have had several palettes like that. Not throwing shade, as I said, I love my Modern Renaissance, but Subculture does that. It blends to a muddy mess. I'm going to try and keep playing with that one, but it's honestly, I've used it twice, and it takes way too much effort to blend it out, whereas this one does not take that much effort. I tend to like overblend things so they do disappear, but it actually doesn't happen with this palette, which says something right there. The mattes are nice and smooth. There's two of them right there. They are nice and smooth and they blend out really nicely, as I said. The foils are really nice. There's one right there. My favorite actually has to be Dirty Talk, which is that one right there. That's on the middle of my eye and underneath it right now. I have to say my least favorite one is Lumbre, which is that one there. It's not quite as pigmented as the rest of them, but I think it's not meant to be pigmented like that. I think it's just meant to be kind of like a sheen instead of a full like foil look. It is what's on my inner third right there. And honestly, guys, I don't know what else to say. The fallout is pretty much non-existent. It's pretty much non-existent, but I do tap off my brushes quite a bit before I go in. But even then, it's no more than usual that comes off your brush. And when you put it on, I hardly ever notice. I have played with this one quite a bit. I've done like 4 or 5 looks, and they've stayed pretty well. It does crease by the end of the day, which says something, because like some palettes I don't have crease, and then other palettes I do. This one's in between. It creased, but not too badly. Yeah, so it creased, but not too badly. That honestly all depends on how your skin is and everything for the ability of how much it's going to crease, if that makes any sense. A lot of things crease on me. Concealer creases on me, eyeshadow creases on me, like pretty much anything around my eyes will crease on me. But this one did not crease too badly. It was like moderate creasing. Do I think it's worth the $66? I really do. And that says something, because I use a lot of higher end makeup. It's just, I don't have very much drugstore makeup. But I won't really like, to be honest, I won't recommend something to you guys if it is super expensive and I don't like it. I honestly love this palette. It is up there with Modern Renaissance. If you know my channel, you know, go back a few videos and I will be talking about Modern Renaissance, and you know I love that palette. I actually need to play with that palette again. It is up there with that palette. I love this palette. Honestly, I would say yes, it's worth it. If you can't really afford it, I would say a good dupe for this, not dupe, but a cheaper alternative to the Naked palette. Not particularly this one, because it's a bit more red, but it would be the Huda Beauty Obsessions line. It's not quite the exact same as this, but they do have more of a warm tone palette, and this one's only $35. So I would definitely say if you can't afford the Naked Heat, go for the Huda Beauty one. I believe they do have a warm browns one, which is closer to this palette. Because I know a lot of people can't just drop $66 on a palette. It's definitely, you gotta save for it if you want, or if you can drop money on that, then be my guest. It's an amazing palette. I fully recommend it. If my mind changes, I'll obviously let you guys know, but I've been playing with it for quite a bit of time and I love it. Easy as that. I would definitely recommend this. Obviously the hype over it is kind of over, and I didn't even get it when it was hyped up that much, so this is honestly my opinion. I haven't really watched anyone else's opinion on it. I have a really bad problem with that, watching reviews before, I do mine. But I've heard really good things about this as well, so honestly, I love it. I would definitely recommend it if you have the money for it. If not, I would try the Huda Beauty Obsessions shadows or Morphe palette. The 3502 I believe is another good one, or 350. It's up to you guys. Honestly guys, if you're into warm tones, highly suggest this. If you don't like warm tones, then this is not the palette for you at all, because it is all warm tones. I'm really impressed with this. I'm going to be trying out the other the other Naked palettes, but those will probably be all in one video because they are quite a bit older. But yeah, that is my review on this guy. And obviously the packaging is really nice. It's a bit thick, but hey, also another thing I noticed is that sauced right there, that beigey color right there. That one right there looks to have a lot more. I don't know if it's sitting up higher, the pan is or something, but it looks to have a lot more in it than the rest of it, which makes sense because if you use it every time for a transition, then you're going to need it. But yeah, that is my review on the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I hope you liked this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because it would mean the world to me. And if you want to hit the bell beside it, you'll get notified every time I put out a video, Tuesdays and Fridays. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.